Hello everyone, this is Miss Roark again. I'm here to help you through our second lesson of first grade math for our first week of distance learning. So what you're going to need this time is a piece of paper, something to write with, and if you have them, a set of playing cards at home. These can be just normal cards. Mine this week look a little bit different, so these don't look like regular cards. They're colorful, but they have numbers on them just like regular cards do. So after you can pause the video and go get those things ready, and then when you're ready and you have all of your materials, you can come back and we'll get started. I'm still using my dishwasher as a whiteboard, so please be patient with me. So we're going to start out with, I have some subtraction flashcards that we're going to do today. And the way this is going to work is I'm going to hold up the flashcard and then I'll give you a second to work it out. So when I'm holding it up, I want you to be writing it down on your paper. And then I'll work it out on the whiteboard and we can figure it out together. So our first problem of the day is 5 minus 3. So take some time and write that out. And I'll do the same thing on my dishwasher. 5 minus 3. So when I did addition, I taught you the dots method, and you can do that for subtraction, but that's not the way that I like to do subtraction best. What I like to do for subtraction is I circle the smaller number. The smaller number always goes on bottom of subtraction problems. So I circle that, and I know that's the one I need to put in my head. That's where I start, and then I count up until I get to 5. So I would say 3, 4, 5. And I stop because I've reached the number 5. So it took me 2 numbers to get to 5. So that means my answer for 5 minus 3 is 2. Oh, I'll write it smaller next time. All right. Oh, this doesn't erase as well as the blue. All right, let's see. What's our next problem? Next one is 5 minus 2. So take some time and write that out. All right, so 5 minus 2, I circle the 2, put it in my head, and then I count up. So 2, 3, 4, 5. It took me 3 numbers to get to 5. So I'm going to write down 3 because that's my answer. So this problem is actually in a fact family with the one that we just did, because we have 5 minus 2 is 3, and earlier we had 5 minus 3 is 2. So we can see the way that these numbers interact with each other and work together to be a family of problems. All right, next up is 3 minus 3. This is a doubles problem like we did on Monday, but instead of addition, it's subtraction, so you need to make sure you're using the right sign. So with doubles problems, we don't have one that's bigger than the other, and so it doesn't really matter which number goes on bottom or on top because they're the same. So we have 3 minus 3. So with this one, you still circle the bottom number and put that in your head, 3. And then you count up to see how many it takes to get to the top number, but it's the same. So we don't have to count up any, so we would be counting 0. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Anything minus itself is always going to be 0, because if you take away all of something, there's nothing left. Next up is 6 minus 3. So write that down. And then we're going to circle the 3, put it in our heads, and count up until we get to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So we added 3 to 3. If 3 plus 3 is 6, then 6 minus 3 is 3. This is going back to the fact families that we talked about a couple months ago, guys. If you can add something together, then you can use those same 3 numbers to make a subtraction problem. And we're going to be doing more with fact families on Friday. All right, let's see. Let's do this one. Next problem is 8 minus 2. So we have 8 minus 2. We circle the 2, put it in our head, and then we count up until we get to 8. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. And that's a really easy way to check yourself too. If you can't add the bottom number with the answer and get the top number, then that means you just need to redo it and try again. Okay, let's see. Let's do 2 more of these and then we'll move on to the card game. Let's do this one. Next problem is 8 minus 3. So write that down on your papers. All right. I'm going to circle the 3. Smaller number always goes on the bottom. Put 3 in my head and count up from 3. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. So 8 minus 3 is 5. All right, last problem is going to be 6 minus 4. Write that down. Circle the 4. Put 4 in your head and count up from 4 until you get to 6. So 4, 5, 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. So 6 minus 4 is 2. All right, I hope that was something that you all remember how to do, and I hope it wasn't too tricky as a way to get us back into subtraction for distance learning. And now you can flip your paper over to the back or go to a new section or get a new piece of paper, because now we're going to make our own problems. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and then it'll be your turn. Okay, so you're going to get out your cards, and you won't need any kings, queens, or jacks. The aces can count as, actually, you don't need aces either. We're just going to use 2 through 10. So the way this works is you're going to get your cards and shuffle them. You can just mix them up, and then you're going to draw 2 cards. So I drew a 9 and a 4. So I'm going to make a problem out of that, and it's going to be a subtraction problem. Now, How do I know which one to put on top? I look at the two numbers side by side and I say which one is bigger. The 9 is bigger, so I know that 9 has to be my number that's on top. And then 4 goes beneath the 9, and I subtract them. How do I subtract? I circle the 4, put it in my head, and I count up until I get to 9. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. So 9 minus 4 is 5. Then I shuffle those cards back into my deck. And I draw again. And you can have a grown-up help you with this, or you can do it by yourself. You don't have to be able to actually shuffle cards very well. You can just mix them up like this, or just do this. It doesn't really matter what order they're in. So then I'm going to draw 2 more cards at random. Let's see. I have a 3 and a 10. So my first step is which number is bigger, because I know that that one has to go on top. Between 3 and 10, the 10 is bigger. So I'm going to put that one on top. Minus 3. Put the 3 in my head and count up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. All right, let's do another one. This is a game that you can also teach your grown-ups, so that, you know, when you're sitting around and you don't have any more Netflix to watch and you don't have any more books to read, you can say, I have a new card game for us to learn. All right, I drew a 6 and a 7. So between 6 and 7, I know that 7 is bigger, so 7 has to go on the top. So I'll write 7 minus 6. I circle the 6, put it in my head, and count up to 7. So 6, 7. I only have to count up one number. So that means 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 minus 6 is 1. Again, the way to check these is you can turn it into an addition problem. If I do 6 plus 1, then I do my dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I know I'm right. If I had gotten 2, then this answer would be 8, and I would know, uh-oh, I didn't get the same number that's on the top here, so I need to redo my answer. It's really easy, and that means you don't even have to have a grown-up necessarily to check that answer, because you know how to do it. But it's still important to make sure that your grown-ups are making sure that you're understanding everything. So if you're confused about something, you can pause the video and go ask a grown-up for help. All right, let's draw another one. We have 9 and 3. So I know 9 is bigger. 9 has to go on top. I circled the 3, put it in my head, and I'm going to count up until I get to 9. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. All right, now it's your turn. You can draw your own cards, write down your problems, and check the answers with addition, and then have your grown-ups look at it to see if you got it right. Then you can see if they can do it. I hope that everyone is staying happy and healthy, and I'm wishing you well.